Hello, Surf Free for All here, coming with my first ever LE video. This is certainly something. Um, just want to make something clear right off the bat. This is not a build guide. This is a build showcase, not a build guide. I don't want you to think that you can just grab stuff out of your stash and then immediately have the same level of success as I did in this video. Because some of my gear is pretty insane, as well as not budget at all. There are certainly budget versions of this build, and I can link a couple down below, but this is certainly not something that you're going to just throw together in a day. This is something you're going to have to farm and farm and farm for. With that being said, let's get right into it and enjoy. So, if you have been on Reddit, you've probably seen this helmet as well as the Twitter from EHG or Last Epoch. They tweeted a thing out with this helmet on there. Really sick. I did eventually get this helmet. This is like the third one that I dropped, and it dropped with 2 LP. And then I slammed a very insane exalted helmet on it and got pretty much the best result possible. The only thing that could be better on this is the armor shred on hit for squirrels. It could go up to 75, but hey, I am definitely not complaining on this one. Up next is the weapon that I use. My one-handed weapon that I use is a basically just minion melee damage, as well as the attack speed does help me use swipe. All of the skills I will go over in a bit, but onto the rings. Not really too much. They're just minion damage, strength, health, and crit avoid. Same thing with the other one, minion damage, strength, health, crit avoid. Belt, a little bit of mana regen does help me quite a bit, as well as getting that cleanse. The mana regen does, you do end up using like half of your mana, so it does end up being a little bit better. I'm sure that this belt could be a lot better if I could get more Fizz res elsewhere, but this is probably my weakest piece out of everything, but it still serves its purpose. Gloves are my 2 LP Raven's Rise that I got strength and minion damage, the best result. The other 2 options were pretty lackluster, endurance and crit avoid. I think were the other 2, not even tier 5, so yes, these aren't too incredibly rare to get, and the LP potential isn't too high, so getting a 2 LP one isn't super unrealistic. If you farm these for a few days, you might get a 2 LP one. I would say it's fairly okay to farm for this. Boots, standard movement speed, crit avoid, health, strength. Relic is damage, frenzy totem level, as well as some minion health is very useful. Health and poison resistance to almost cap me. This item is insane. A +1 Bastion of Honor with endurance. My tier 6 endurance that I got on there. That's not even the most impressive thing. I have a +1 Prism Wraps as well. Very insane. What else? Oh, the amulet. The amulet is just minion damage, minion health. Like I said, the health is actually very nice to give these guys even more health, life, and getting the necrotic resistance capped. Idols. This is the best idol that you can get. It is 30% chance for haste when you summon a totem. If I were to have 3 of these, I'd basically have a 100% chance, or 4 of them to have a 100% chance to gain haste when I summon the totem, the frenzy totem. It's the best case scenario. However, I haven't gotten 4 of them. I've just gotten this one. But basically, the main stat here is melee minion attack speed. I have all 4 of them as melee minion attack speed. And then these are just vitality and res. That's those. I do weapon swap on single target to this. Whoops, I hate when that happens. It's basically just minion damage and all attributes. It's for my single target when I am not worrying about mapping and getting hit. I don't have to worry about the endurance or the block as much, so I just go for as much raw damage as possible. I think this was a drop from tier 4 tier 4 dungeon basically. I just swapped to that on single target. So, with that being said, let's go into the skills. So, I have a +9 on my wolf. I have +2 from Raven's Rise, and the very notable point that you need to have is this one right here. This node actually gives the wolf a spell tag, which does give it the +2 from the Raven Rise. You have to have Stormborn to get the +2 from the Raven Rise. Other than that, I just go to movement speed, attack speed, damage, wolf up to your companion limit, damage, and then 1 travel to this, which is 100% increased melee damage when you howl. This is travel for this, which is +1. And I do pick up this node because it is very helpful to keep them alive, because they do take quite a bit of damage from some bosses. If you can't kill quickly, a budget version of this unfortunately can't take this, unless you want to start taking points out of here or here. That's kind of your option. If you are struggling with keeping your squirrels alive, put 1 point into here and you should be okay. Warcry for survivability and also damage. We get crit from here because we are playing crit squirrels. We're also freezing the enemy. Every time that we Warcry, we freeze the enemy, which is pretty good for keeping us alive, as well as gives our minions some crit chance and also does more damage. It also heals us for a good chunk, as well as giving our squirrels some more survivability and cleansing ailments, but we do have cleanse on our belt as well. Berserk is for our swipe. We do get some utility out of our swipe, so getting that extra attack speed and damage and stuff is good from Berserk. Fury Leap. This right here, global increased damage for 3 seconds, and companions leap with you. These nodes are very, very nice. You should pretty much pick them up, bar any other nodes. These are just best in slot. Attack speed, damage, minions leap with you because you don't want to leap into a middle of a pack of enemies and then get one shot. This is just cooldown recovery rate, stun stuff, and resetting the cooldown. Summon Frenzy Totem. We like this node because every time we put down our totem, our Howl or our Scurry and Rage is going to reset, giving us an extra cooldown on that, basically, as well as it kind of bypasses the 10-second cooldown that this has and puts it as a 6-second cooldown. Gives our wolves 250% increased critical strike chance. With this and Warcry, I pretty much crit every single time. The totem is very, very nice. And getting the +2 allows you to get this health and duration, or getting more points here. That's why I have the +2 on the relic. It's just nice to have. Swipe is pretty much a utility. It gives us some leech. It gives us a kill threshold. Very nice right there. The damage doesn't really matter. What else? Some fish shred, but it also gives us some life and mana, as well as pretty much just that global damage per stack, and yep, it's just good utility to have. What else? The skill tree. So I got 25 points into the classic, which is just attunement, lightning, resistances and stuff. Could go here maybe, some life, some minion life. Put 1 point into here to get your health potions, to give half your health potion to your minion. It's okay. You don't need to pick it up. Health, minion damage, and more melee damage on low life. Less damage taken on low life. That's the important line, is less damage taken on low life. 7 points into Druid. If that's this is kind of your last, 7 points. You're sitting at 93. Probably go into here to give you some endurance, as well as give your minion some armor, give you some armor. It's just nice to have. Beastmaster, 81 points. I'm not going to go over every single node here, but I will leave it on screen for a second in case you want to pause the video and look at it. This point is just good to have 1 point in, because your minions now gain your endurance. Pretty much the only notable one. Looks pretty standard as for a Beastmaster to me. So I'll let you look at that for a second, and then we'll move on. So for defenses, since we have so much strength with stacking strength, we do have a bit of armor. I'm LE capped, Fizz capped, and I got a little bit that I could work on for poison and void. Not really sure. I could get some better relics to maybe get some better void and poison res, but or a better blessing to get that. We are using a bastion 99% of the time, so we do have that block and less damage taken from nearby enemies, which is a huge defensive layer. I do eventually want to farm for an LP Wings of Argentus and get the flat melee minion crit chance. That's super important. If I get a +2/1, God help me. I don't even know what I would want to put on it. I pretty much want to put this exact chess piece on it with Exalted Minion melee crit chance. So for blessings, there's not a lot of blessings that actually help us too much. So I did get a lot of resistance ones: void res, lightning res, all res, fire res here, cold res here, and that's just a different one. I think this one's gold, and gold drop rate, and then the shards basically. I got a lot of res here because it does open up a lot for your it does open up a lot for your skill tree, being able to just get straight up life or crit avoid instead of having to get any resistances. I do need to get some resistances on gear, but not very much. I think I just have resistance here and here, and that's it, besides the Raven's Rise, which does give me lightning and necrotic. So up next is skill rotation. So the way that you're going to want to rotate for bosses specifically is using your Scurry and Rage, which does last 4 seconds, and you can just see by the redness of their eyes. So you're going to want to use Scurry and Rage and then pop your Frenzy Totem. So you're going to use Scurry and Rage, pop your Frenzy Totem, jump on the enemy, Warcry, Scurrying Rage again, and then just start attacking with Swipe. So basically this accomplishes you being able to extend your Scurry and Rage to like 7 to 8 seconds or 6 to 8 seconds effectively, instead of the 4 seconds. So your Scurry and Rage, Totem, Jump, Warcry, Scurry and Rage, and they just have that buff for the whole 8 seconds, which gives them some huge damage. That's why you're going to see in the kill montage that it just deletes bosses. I think after this I'm going to put what a mono usually looks like, how I usually play it, and then I'm just going to leave you guys with the boss kills. If you have any questions at all, please comment down below, let me know. I will read as many as I can, respond to as many as I can, and yeah, this has been Sir Free For All, also known as Jason, and I will catch you guys in the montage. Goodbye.